Is this town one worth visiting? Let's find out. Hello Fanatics, I'm Phillips, and this is the Film Fanatic Review bringing you Suburbicon, starring Matt Damon, Julianne Moore, and Oscar Isaac. First, we'll tell you what the movie is about, and our initial thoughts. Then we'll move on to our spoiler-free likes and dislikes. We'll finish up with some spoiler-heavy thoughts on this film, and our final word. Suburbicon follows the story of a man and his family who deal with a home invasion in their small idyllic town. Overall, this movie was I expected a lot more from a Coen Brothers script, and I was very disappointed. For what I liked about this film, let's start off with the cast. The cast does a great job in their performances, in particular Matt Damon and Julianne Moore, but the standout to me is Oscar Isaac. He steals every scene he's in. The premise for this film is a great idea. If I were to explain it beyond a sentence, it would sound like a very cool Coen Brothers dark comedy. And I really enjoyed the setting of the film. 1950s suburbia is a really fun concept that reminds me a lot of the Fallout video game series. Just always a fan of that atmosphere. However, while the setting is cool, I didn't really see it as integral to the actual story in this film. The script is patched together, blending a civil rights dramatic story with a crime comedy, and neither of them are really given enough time to develop them into interesting and entertaining stories. The storytelling falls over itself on numerous occasions, as it doesn't know where it wants to go tonally or thematically. And the direction isn't the greatest, as the setup for this film takes around 30 minutes and it's showing us the B plot apparently, which is the civil rights story, and then all of a sudden introduces us to Matt Damon's family. It takes too long to get into what is considered the main story without having any sort of payoff for the other story. And that's where I'll end our spoiler-free thoughts on this film. If you want to hear our final word or rating of this film, pause now and click the link in the description, because now it's time for spoilers. First off, this script was written around 20-ish years ago, which means that it was written around the same time as Fargo, and you can definitely see the similarities between the two. Now yes, there are differences, but it's about a family who deals with a crime that is kind of involving members of the family. And I don't want to go into detail as to what the premise of Fargo is, because I don't want to ruin that movie for anybody, but it's just very similar. I didn't realize Julianne Moore was playing twins in this film until they actually said it on screen. At first, I thought it was a mother and daughter. Again, I just think that George Clooney wanted a script to direct, and he went to the Coen Brothers and said, hey, do you have anything? And they didn't feel comfortable enough doing it themselves because it wasn't finished. So George Clooney looked at it and went, hey, I'll try and fix this up. And he didn't polish it enough. It had two different stories in it, but he didn't dive into any of them any more than probably what was already there, and he just kind of glossed over it and added some stuff to the surface, nothing really integral to a deeper meaning in the film. I mean, we're only ever really introduced to the two children in both of these families and their relationship after everything that's gone on. Yes, they have their own separate situations, but we're not invested enough in either of these situations because we don't get enough for them, especially from the civil rights story. The parents get barely anything, and they're basically just a blank slate the entire film. And the best scenes to me were the setup of the Suburbicon lifestyle, the second home invasion, and every scene with Oscar Isaac in it. So, with the thoughts heard, here's our final word. Suburbicon is an ambitious dark comedy that tries to be more than it is and stretches itself thin. While there are some great performances, the patchy story and failed execution make the story of this town one to skip. This film had a great premise with the potential for Coen Brothers' tone and themes, but it failed in that execution, so I'm going to give Suburbicon a 5. Thanks everybody for watching our review. Are you planning on seeing Suburbicon, or if you've already seen it, do you have something to add? What did you think of the story? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Dylan Phillips, and this has been the Film Fanatic Review. If you liked this video and you want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Check out our latest Fanatic 5 video where we discuss the top Michael Fassbender roles. Don't forget to follow us on our social media, and until next time Fanatics, keep it real.